if you have any questions, please do well to put it in the chat so you don't forget. And I have my colleague here with me who will answer everything. And yes, at the end of the session, we can also give you a chance to ask all your questions. Thank you. So a little bit about academics at ALU. In ALU here, we offer a unique academic model, which is different from the traditional university model. ALU's academics is centered around missions and majors. So as time goes on, you get to understand more about the missions and the majors. But the majors here are just the normal programs we have: software engineering and Bachelor in Entrepreneur Leadership, which is BEL. Then the missions here is basically declaring, finding a challenge or a problem in your community that you are passionate about, and then using the 14 grand challenges. Like, you center it around the 14 grand challenges, you find solutions to it, you go back to your home country, and then you try to implement those solutions. So here in ALU, we have 3 pillars, which is accessibility. So we have ALU is accessible through a blended program designed and reduced tuition cost. So the way ALU academics is, it's meant to be cost friendly, unlike other universities where you pay thousands of dollars, like between $12,000 to $14,000 per year. ALU is very affordable. You pay $3,000 for your entire year. Yes. Then, like I said, we are also centered around the mission statement. So you focus your education around compelling challenge, opportunity of your choice. You get to understand more about the 14 grand challenges and the opportunities. But like I said earlier, we focus everything around, you find a challenge. Then basically the mission is that you find a challenge. For example, for me, I want to help children that have been abused in my community. I want to help their mental health. I want to support them. I want to provide a system or like a solution that can help them get back on their feet, because we know how these things make people go back to their shell. They are not open enough. They have so much potential, but as a result of being abused, they feel like they are not enough. So yes, you pick a challenge in your community that you are very passionate about, and then you try and find solutions to it with support from ALU, of course. Then we also have learning through doing. So in ALU here, we believe in learning by doing, which is which explains the 70-30-10 module. 70% doing, you spend 70% doing, which is like doing practical stuff, experiencing the world, instead of sitting in a classroom, then your teacher is teaching you like the entire time. You know, that is why sometimes we have your 4 months, your first trimester, you spend it on campus. Then after that, you can travel anywhere. You can find any country you want to go and explore or study from, which is the learning by doing. So we do more than learning, or let me say, the theoretical part is less. So we don't have teachers in the classrooms that teach us. We have facilitators. You take ownership of your own journey or your own academics. So you learn on your own, whilst you have facilitators that are there to help you when you have any challenges. So more about education. So on my left represents the normal traditional university. Some of you are in the university, so you understand what I'm trying to say. And some of you that are aspiring to go to universities, you also understand this. Then on your right is what ALU is doing. And ALU is the only university offering this kind of academics, right? So on your left, you know that in the normal traditional university, you sit in a class where your lecturer tells you what to do. Basically, teaches you, they have a textbook or something, then they come and then they teach you what you should learn. But here in ALU, they don't teach us what we should learn. They provide us with resources, and then we learn on our own while to support us through the learning. So you don't have a lecturer that will come to the classroom and say, I think maybe the sky is blue. For all you know, someone might think the sky looks turquoise. In ALU, they give you the chance. Like there's no wrong answer. Someone will say the sky is turquoise. Someone will say, I don't think the sky is blue. I think the sky is a reflection of this. Someone will say, I don't think so. Your teacher does not tell you what to learn. Basically, that's it. Then the learner is dependent on an individual. So like I said, you are dependent on your teacher. At the end of the day, you go and write exams. So yeah, basically depending on your teacher's knowledge, whatever they are sharing, you don't have the chance to explore or learn, or whatever the teacher says is what you depend on. Then at the end of the day, you go write exams. But here in ALU, you are encouraged to be independent learners. So like I said, we learn on our own. They encourage us to find resources. They push us to learn. There are so many types of learners. There are people who learn by watching. There are people who learn by listening. There are people who learn with visuals and all that. So you find whichever one works for you, and then you study. Then in the traditional university, they know they have learned when they are told, like you have good grades. Then for us, you're able to recognize the progress in their learning. So in the traditional university, like I said, you go write exams. And then like if your answer does not satisfy what your lecturer taught you, or if the answer does not satisfy your lecturer, you get maybe bad grades. So like you measure your learning, or you know you've learned when you've been graded. So for example, if you get maybe 10 out of 20, you know you are doing well. If you get maybe 18 out of 20, you know, oh yes, I'm doing good. If someone gets 5 out of 20, and then meanwhile, the answers might not be the same, but like you give people to explore and give like their own opinions, it's better. That way, like you see the progress in your learning. You don't have a specific approach to giving one answer. Yes. So that's how different it is. Then here we have an ecosystem. So we have different types of facilities, or let me say departments, that help us through all this learning. Like I said, you learn on your own doesn't mean ALU is leaving you to do everything on your own. There are a lot of support systems. We have library on campus, as well as online library where you can access all information that you need. We have the writing center. So for students that are not fluent in English, you are learning, basically learning how to speak English or write fluently, or even if you are still fluent in English, you write well, but you still want to better your writing. We have the writing center where we have students and also facilitators and coaches that can help you proofread your document. You know, in the traditional university, you can't send your paper to your teacher most of the times to proofread or correct things for you, just because they're the ones going to mark. It's like they're giving you answers or tips. But here we have the writing center where they can teach you how to write well, using the right tone, using the right punctuations, the right words, and all that. Then we have the Students Professional Development, which is SPD. So SPD, they source out opportunities to help students develop themselves professionally. So maybe if you want to become a policymaker or something, there are support systems or opportunities that these guys can source for you, or sometimes they invite professionals in these fields, different fields, specialists where students can interact with. Yes. Then we have student success team, as well as the tech team for support in tech. If you're having issues with your laptop, or if you have any issues concerning tech, they are there. And then community culture and wellness. So we have, you know, in the normal university, you probably don't have this branch of support. That's like having a system or someone to go talk to if maybe you are learning and then it's not going well, your mental health is not kicking, is not given right now. You need like support, you need care. There's like a system designed that would take care of you if you need break, if you're getting overwhelmed with your studies or anything. We have like people trained psychologists and people that are well in like trained in our wellness. When I mean wellness, not just physical, like if you get hurt or something, but your mental, your emotional well-being, there are support systems for you. So I'll be taking you through the BEL course since I've spoken a little bit about, I've given a general overview about how academics work at ALU. I'm studying BSE, but I've interacted with a lot of BEL students, so I basically know much about the BEL program. So yes, I'm a BSE student, but then I'll be taking you through the whole BEL program. So the entrepreneurial leadership, which is the BEL course, is for individuals that want to transform problems into opportunities or create social impact, social and economic value for communities, organizations, and societies. So these people, we classify them as problem solvers. These people are here to turn these problems to opportunities or find solutions to them that has value, and then share those solutions to their community. So it gives students the opportunity to research. It provides applicable research, leadership, career skills, methodologies, frameworks for all programs. So it prepares you to take leadership roles. It also prepares you to do research. It prepares you to also develop career skills, which you will use to solve these problems you've identified. So BEL students are able to create products, services, programs, policies that will serve their community, like I said. If maybe the problem, maybe the issue in your community is malaria, then you want to find maybe a soap that when people use to shower, it serves as repellent or something. That's a product you are creating. Maybe you want to render services to people, you want to develop programs or policies that are going to help people in your community as a result of a specific problem they are facing. So yes, I've already spoken about this. So yes. So the degree program is made up of 4 branches. We have the missions, we have foundation, skills immersion, and degree specialization. So missions is basically finding a problem, like I mentioned earlier, in your community that you are very much passionate about, that you want to solve. So you need to be passionate about this problem. If not, it's going to be very difficult for you to implement your solution. Then we have foundation, whereby when you come on campus your first trimester, that's like your foundation year, where you are equipped with different courses and knowledge on several topics. It can be leadership, it can be entrepreneurship. It's a whole lot of things, self-awareness, navigating in different, maybe you find yourself in a difficult situation, how you can navigate yourself and make use of that situation to come out well. We have skills immersion, where you can go out and then work, basically your internship period, where you can go out and then work for people. Yes, then we have degree specialization. So I'll run through the course. So in your first year, like I said, when you come here, that's your foundation year. So learning processes, basically you learn how to learn again, because you're coming from a different system, a different system. So when you get here, you learn how to learn like again. We have reflective thinking, which comes with like a lot of courses on how to think through situations, like basically developing critical thinking and analytical thinking skills. Then in your trimester 2, in your first year, which is in this blue here, intro to 14, the grand challenges and opportunities. We'll go through that later. And then the grand challenges and opportunities are problems and opportunities that ALU has identified, that said these problems are there are 7 problems. These problems are like the main problems that Africa are facing. Then there's 7 opportunities, like these are the top 7 opportunities that we have in Africa that we can leverage on to solve the 7 grand challenges, which makes it the 14 grand challenges and opportunities. So we introduce you to that, you learn more about it. You don't just pick any challenge. So we have like the challenges you have healthcare, you have education, you have agriculture, you have governance. Then in opportunities, you have tourism, you have what you I will introduce it to them, like here they are there. Then you have building startups and creating employment in emerging markets. So you are taught how to build startups. A lot of students here have startups and ventures. And most of them created these ventures when they came to ALU. So if you have an idea where you want to create solution, trust me, ALU has the support system for you. Then in your first year for BEL students, your third trimester, you go for skills immersion where you look for internships. Sometimes ALU also gives source out internship opportunities for us where we apply to. And then, yeah, you get your internship, you go on the internship. Basically, the purpose of the internship is to have real life experience on how the outside world operates. Your teacher does not come to you and say that if you are working with someone, this is this, they can do this, they can do this. But you go out there and when you experience it firsthand, it gives you a clear idea on how you can solve problems later. Then in your year 2, we have communicating for impact, basically learning how to communicate. If you have a group of investors or if you are solving a problem, you want to speak to your stakeholders, if you want maybe investors, you need to learn how to speak to them. You need to learn how to make sure that whatever you are saying is making impact. People are actually listening to you. People are feeling what you are feeling. Yes. Then you have creativity and innovation, Africa's leaders, where they teach you about the past African leaders who did exceptional things. The reason why we are here today as Africans, the reason why Africa is doing better than before. Then you choose your GCGO. So in your year 2 first trimester, that's where you choose your GCGOs that you are interested in. Then you have critical thinking, systems thinking, and gap analysis. So like there's a lot of skills, soft skills that ALU teaches you because in high school they don't teach us all these things. Then in your third trimester year 2 again, you go for skills immersion, you go for internship again, and then you have professional skills lab as well. Then in your third year, you have quantitative reason, theory of change. So basically you get to specialize in, yes, in any of these things. They teach you how to do opportunity mapping. For example, you have different stakeholders. If maybe you pick a solution or a product, like how is which people are your products benefiting most, which people are your products benefiting less, or any of those things. You have advanced startups, building and scaling teams. So basically, when you start a startup or when you come up with a venture, you need to learn how to scale. You need to learn how to work in teams. Working in a team is not easy. It teaches you how to function in a team dynamic, to bring your team together to work well. Computational thinking, and managing complex tasks, prototyping, go to market. So you meet your stakeholders. This is why I said that after your first time, you can go back home. So for example, if the problem is back in maybe Sierra Leone, the community in Sierra Leone, you can go back once you're studying online, you go back to Sierra Leone and then you speak to your stakeholders, you have one-on-one instead of depending only on secondary sources online. So you can go there, have primary sources, hear from them, they give you feedback, you get to understand them better. And then you understand, after that you build your prototype based on the feedback they've given you. You give it to them, they test it, then you can finally implement it. So have self-directed development, capstone. So in your year 3, second trimester, you come up with like a capstone. That's like your final project, the project you've been working on since year 1. You basically defend it, you finalize everything, and then you defend it. Then yeah, we are done with ALU. ALU. So the degree pathways, you're basically asking if I'm doing BA or what can I do? What can I specialize in? BA is a broad course, so you can specialize in business strategy and investment, can specialize in policy and advocacy, those of you into politics, governance, planetary health, those of you that are into climate change and all that, research methods. We have then, yeah, these are the mission pathways. Then we have core methods. So these are what everybody could do discuss. That's research, complex problem solving, enterprise, and entrepreneurship. So these are the 14 grand challenges that I spoke to you about initially. So the ones on your left are the challenges, and then the ones on your right are the opportunities. So for challenges, you have urbanization, people that are interested in structure, people that are interested in maybe, you know, how slums are basically making sure that you build proper structures. Yes, and all those things. People that are interested in education. I know that in most countries in Africa, there are a lot of issues or problems that we have in education system, curriculum, and all that. People that are interested in healthcare, climate change, governance, job creation, infrastructure. So these are the problems, the major problems that we believe we have in Africa. Then the opportunities are agriculture, natural resource management, wildlife conservation, regional integration, arts, design and culture, tourism, empowerment of women. So these are the opportunities that we believe will help us create effective solutions and sustainable solutions in this problem. So this is everything about the BEL program. If you have more questions, please don't forget to send and type them in the chat, or just after this session, you unmute and then ask a question. But for now, I'll hand it over to my colleague, Nino. Hi, Nino, are you here?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm actually joining with my phone. Laptop has some issues right now, so I hope you guys hear me. Thank you so much, Princess. Thank you for taking us through the BL program. Hi, everyone. My name is Nino Subzawanchukwu. I'm part of the class of 2022, January 2023 intake, currently studying software engineering, but I'm specializing in machine learning, and I'm going to be basically taking you guys through what the BSc model is all about. As Princess just took us what the BL program is all about. And just to start on, I'm sure she already touched on this, but just to reiterate, the main structures of the BSc program is divided into 4 sections. We have the missions, we have foundations, we have skills immersion, which is basically internship period where you get to work with a company, a project, an organization. And we also have the degree specialization, which is basically delving more into what you really want to study. So yeah, just going through this, giving you an overview of what the software engineering curriculum entails. Students get the opportunity to learn foundations in both applications and systems programming. And then you also get the time to delve into your specialization in one of the 4 tracks we have, which I'll be talking about later on in my presentation. And also the curriculum gets to provide students with a career-oriented learning pathway, which basically means giving you the opportunity, giving you the resources, and giving you the avenue to learn skills that are really, really important in the workforce when you delve into your software engineering career or your programming journey with us, which basically entails giving you the skills to also be able to learn anything you want to learn. Like, as you may know, in the software engineering curriculum, or like the software engineering world, there are different programming languages, different tools that students need to learn. But we give you the opportunity to be able to learn whatever you want during our period throughout your whole journey. Yeah. And then just to go back, for students that would like to go into the software engineering curriculum, there are requirements that our admission team watch out for to enable you qualify to be a software engineering student. And the first is in your leaving school exams, A-levels, or whatever documents you're submitting, you need to have a minimum of C in your core subject, which is maths, or your CS domain, maths, physics, and the like. So you need to have a minimum of C for you to be considered to join the program as a software engineering student. And also the requirement, yeah, just as reiterated in the second point, for prospective students for either for whatever document you're submitting, either your A-level, your living school certificate, or you have an IB, whatever it is, it's important for you to note that you need to get a minimum grade of C in the core subject. And if there's an absence of that, then a minimum grade of B shall be, in the absence of required grades in maths or computer science related courses, there's a minimum grade of C that shall be considered to meet the additional requirements, such as taking or passing on mandatory tests, which when you come in, you also get to do a test that would actually see if you qualify to be a software engineering student. And this also applies to the equivalent certificate, which basically is the certificates or the examination board that is considered relevant here in Rwanda. So it's basically changing your current grade to what the Rwanda Education Board system allows. So you also need to take note of that. And then through all this, you need to ensure that you're checking your inbox emails regularly to ensure that you don't miss any information from the registrar's office, from the admissions team throughout your whole enrollment process. And just also taking you through the program structure. As you might know, our programs are for 3 years, and it has been broken down very seamlessly to give students the opportunity to really understand what they are really doing. And just going through the year one, I'll just go through like an overview from your year one. When you come in, as Princess had talked about, you get to delve into learning processes and reflective thinking, which basically gives you the opportunity to unlearn, relearn, and then start your early journey from there. So then you get to delve into courses that really makes you think out of the box in any field you'll be in. So like preparing you for your whole journey. And then in your year one trimester two, then students then start to delve into either you get into BSc or you get into BA, which is software engineering and entrepreneurial leadership. And then for the SE program, you get to dive into Linux and IT tools, which are basically the foundation or like the backbone of whatever you be doing. And then we start talking about Python programming and databases. And then if you can see how this structure has been color coded, for the red is basically foundation modules, like I said in the start of my presentation. For the blue, we have our degree specific module, which is basically either your specialization or just any module that is into software engineering. And then for the ones color coded as gray, that's our skills immersion period. And for software engineering students, we have just one skills immersion period. And then we have our mission capstone, which is basically what encapsulates all what we've done in our whole early journey and like kind of your final project. So from our trimester two, as you can see, the red ones color coded in trimester two, which is self-leadership and team dynamics, basically delving into how you can work in teams. Because throughout your early journey, we have a lot of group projects, we have a lot of peer learning, where you get to collaborate with other peers throughout different projects. And then trimester three, you delve into web infrastructure, you start learning about front-end web development. And also we have a course in foundation module, which is called Responsible Enterprise. And then year two, you do another foundation module, which for software engineering students, that's the last foundation module you get to do. And then you start delving more into what you really want to do. Then we have our foundations project. In year two, trimester one, this one's same foundation project. You really get a chance to build something that you're really passionate about. Princess talked about missions. This is really where you can get the opportunity to go more into your mission and start building tech solutions or products that really aligns with that mission. If you're into mental health, then it could be you building a platform where students can feel safe to talk about what they're going through and all that. If your mission is in agriculture, then it could be a case of you building an app that helps farmers calculate their finances. If your mission is into education, it could be you creating a system where students can get access to learning resources or academic opportunities. So this is where you really get to delve into, you start delving into what you really want to do. And then from our year 2 trimester 2, this is where you start delving more into what you really want to do. Talk about our introduction to software engineering, which is now giving students the opportunity to start learning more about the software engineering tools that will then take you through your whole journey. And then we have our skills immersion. Like I said before, you get the opportunity to partner up with an organization or you do a self-directed project. So for skills immersion, we have 2 tracks. First is either you enter into a company or you do a self-directed project. And the self-directed project is basically you still get a chance to delve into your mission and really be focused on what you want to do. Or for internships, which the school also have resources that help students get internships. So you're not like thrown into the world to just okay go and find those opportunities. We have our opportunities board, we have our career dev team, we have our student professional development team, which also helps us with this. And then from our year 2, by the end of our year 2, then students start to specialize into what they want to carry on throughout their whole ALE journey, which I'll be talking on in the next slide. And we have 4 specialization tracks. You can only pick one, and then you start specializing in that. So from your year 2 to the final to the end of your program, this is really what you continue to do. Like I said, in your final year, you do your mission capstone, which encompasses all what you've done, and then you get a chance to build products related to your mission or related to what you've learned so far, or whatever. So, and this is basically the SC program structure, and I'm going to be going through the specialization tracks in my couple of slides next. So in our specialization tracks, we have 4 tracks. We have the low-level programming, we have the augmented reality, AR/VR, we have machine learning, and then we have full-stack web development. These have been broken into 4 tracks to give students the opportunity to really delve into what they want to do. So like, as you might know, the software engineering field is broad, and it's better for you to learn one thing than have experience in different things. So this is really where you get to specify. For our low-level programming, you delve into C, you do Linux programming, you do DSA, data structures and algorithms, and then students also get a chance to do blockchain development and blockchain application. And this is basically start from your year 2 trimester 3, like I said. So this is where you start doing and specializing in specialization track. Then we have AR/VR, you do Unity, you do advanced programming in C#. And then you also you delve really into Unity, which is basically the main engine that AR/VR engineers really use, build their tools and products. And then for machine learning, which is what I'm currently specializing in, you do mathematics for machine learning, which is basically more like doing math topics. You guys have been exposed to it from secondary school, but then now using code to really solve math. And then delve into introduction to machine learning. We talk about neural networks. We talk about how you can then build machine learning models, algorithm models to really understand how different system works. And then you just delve into that machine learning technique, machine learning pipeline. Then for our full stack web development, which basically is joining front end and back end development together, you get a chance to do advanced Python programming, advanced backend development. So like it's giving students the opportunity to really go into what they want to do. And students have the opportunity to choose just one track. But before then, you've already learned tools that will really help you throughout any track you choose or throughout any field you're really interested in. And then I'm also going to take you through in the next slide. I'm also going to take you through different fields. Okay, before I go into that, this is just what some systems in place that help you throughout your whole learning journey. We have peer learning days, like I said. You get to work with students on projects on different tasks. We have group coding sessions where our coaches and facilitators really come in and show us like really how the work is done. We have other experiential learning activities. We get to host sessions where people from different fields, people working at Google, at Amazon really come in to tell us their journey so far in their software engineering career. To tell us how students can break into the tech field, really share insights into their story so far. We also have some peer discussions. We also have feedback loop where learning coaches provide students with feedback. Like Princess has said, this is an opportunity where you get to learn and you get to gain insight from your coach before you submit, let's say your final project or what. So, like you get to receive feedback and then you get a chance to implement that feedback. Unlike the current module where like you're just required to just submit and your facilitator just gets to mark your grade you, right? And then for our assessment strategy, like I said, we have two. They're broken into two: formative assessment and summative assessment. Formative assessment take up 60% of our grades, and summative takes up 40% of our grade. And our summative assessment, you can just look at it as like your final exams, and like your formative as like your test, right? So I'm just giving a better understanding of what this really means, right? And for our formative, it's just collection of programming tasks, assignments, just small artifacts that students get the chance to really demonstrate what they've learned throughout a term. And then our summative is really the whole bigger picture or the whole bigger project that you get to do. It could be anything. It could be a presentation. It could be a website that you've been asked to build. It could be a machine learning model if you're specializing in machine learning. It could be anything really. But this really takes up much of the grade. So it's really imperative that you pay more attention to your summative and your formative, obviously, but your summative takes up more grade. So it's really important to really submit your summative. Take a lot of time working on it to ensure like you keep your grade high. And then on the next slide, yeah, like I said, basically this entails career pathways where you can possibly work. And after your ALE software design journey, I'm just going through the 4 different tracks as I already spoke. For AR/VR engineers, you get a chance to go into mobile game development, systems engineering. For different companies, you go into interactive design, you go into gameplay developer and all that. For full stack development, which is basically front end and back end, you can either go into graphic design, UI UX design, JavaScript developer, or you can also be a Python developer, whichever track you want. These are fields that you can go into. So for some of us that we have really been thinking about how can we get into such career pathways, how can we get into such positions in different companies, this is what you need to choose. So for students interested in being junior software engineers, proper software engineers, we also have site reliability engineer, SRE, which talks about how you can ensure a data company or data center really fits and keep their structure. Look about junior blockchain engineering. For some of us interested in blockchain and all this Web3, this is where you need to be. Then for some of us really interested in data, Python developing, machine learning, and AI also, looking at how AI is revolutionizing the world right now. If you're really interested in that, the machine learning track is you, where you get to build machine learning models, algorithms, and get to learn about different natural language processing. So that's our those are our tracks divided into 4, and those are what those are possible for you so that you could really end up working. So is this an activity, Princess?
The short 5 minutes activity, just so they get to know how you work around the 14 grand challenges.
Yeah. So are you going to take them through?
You can if you want to.
Okay. So as Princess had earlier talked about our 14 grand challenges and opportunities, which are basically broken down into 7 each. So 7 grand challenges, 7 great opportunities. So we could just take some time out. So Princess, I don't know if maybe you could go back to that slide if they still remember the opportunities and grand challenges.
Okay. Yes.
Cool. So these are 14 grand challenges and opportunities. Like I said, they're broken down into 7 each. So 7 opportunities and 7 challenges. So let's just take some time out to really look at this. Let me clear it up for my end. Right. So we could just use 5 minutes and then we can just have an interactive session. Probably you can also drop your message in the chat. What challenges or opportunities do you find to be most important? Why? Or you could also talk about which problems have you actually seen in your community that is related to you really and that you're really interested in solving. And then which skills and resources do you think you need that ALU could also provide you in that journey to solve that problem. So let's use 5 minutes to do this. These are our 14 grand opportunities and challenges. Princess, if you could just paste the question in the chat so they could have that.
Okay, but I hope you guys have gotten a clear picture of the 14 grand challenges and opportunities. So I'm moving on. I'm going back to the yes. So maybe you can start. You can talk about as a student in VS. You can talk about yes the grand challenges and opportunities you are interested in, and then the challenge you found, and then how you plan on using the opportunities to solve those challenges.
So for me, my mission is really into sustainability and SMEs, which is how can I position small scale or medium scale companies to have sustainable practices inculcated in their operations from their early growth. So whenever they're growing, they can have that really into their operations and into their management. So my mission falls into climate change, sustainability falls into job creation, and also there's actually one that I like to use, which is business integration. And some of the challenges I found out is sometimes small scale companies really don't know how to position themselves because they are small. You have a small team. They have probably a growing customer audience, so it can be challenging for them to understand how they're impacting the environment, how their supply chain management. It could be those that supply them goods. It could be how they supply people goods. It could be in terms of their team dynamics. So because they are small companies, they find it difficult sometimes to understand how they really impact the environment, the community, and all that. I think that's one challenge I found in terms of how I'm working on my mission. And I think the opportunities or the resources I've tried to use is to conduct some research into small scale SMEs across different communities. I also had some case studies that I looked at just outside the African continent to also see what as SMEs in like say Europe or US, what are they doing differently? How are they using this information and this data to understand how they impact our environment and all that. I think that's one resource that have helped me conducting research, understanding case studies to see how SMEs also work in different communities. So I think that's my story. Probably we could take some people share that
yes
from what you said.
Yeah. So like as Nino is talking, I'm sure some of you are like, hey, I don't understand anything. This guy has a lot of knowledge. Trust me, when Nino came to school, he was also clueless. All of us were all clueless, didn't know what to do. But going through ALU has taught us all these things, all the knowledge he has now, all the skills he has now when he says research, when he says SME, when he says all those things. Yes. And he did all these things by himself. So yes, you can also do it. So we have Elijah who said he wants to share. Elijah, you can unmute
Yeah,
and share. This.
let's hear from you,
Oh,
Elijah.
Yes.
okay. So for me, maybe it's an opportunity from the education and the job creation sector.
Okay.
What I think, maybe in the area I come from, in my country, where it's Kenya, many of the youth are getting some challenges to access the education resources, and they are in many areas they are facing some inadequate jobs. So for me, what I've been always thinking of it to come up with maybe a platform that will maybe give them resources and make them in touch with some of the institution or some places that offer these education services. And when that gets implemented, you can now get some job opportunities. From there, when someone gets some skills, maybe you can get some job to do, and maybe you can earn yourself some income. Yeah.
All right. I think that's really cool. You guys really have clear idea on what this whole thing about. This is really interesting. Yeah. Onuha Jasper also wants to share, so you can also unmute and share with us.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ono Jasper. I'm from Nigeria. So my grand challenge would be job creation as well, but not directly in the area of just creating jobs. Where I come from in Nigeria, there's a huge gap between small scale enterprises and then becoming bigger. Most times, small businesses either start and close early or just remain small for a long time. And what I would like to do is to be able to, through the use of technology and also through education, be able to provide simple business solutions for small scale enterprises throughout the country, throughout the continent even, because people need such solutions. There are simple things that small scale and medium scale enterprises can do differently that would increase their stock or things like that. So that's where my grand challenge and opportunity will come from.
Okay. I think this is kind of related to you, Nino, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so Nino is here. If hopefully you come to ALU, he has worth of experiences that he can share with you or even collaborate. We
Sure.
have even people that are collaborating to, come up with these whole solutions and all that. Because sometimes, obviously, one person cannot do it alone. All that. Yeah. This is really interesting. Please reach out to Nino. Do we have anyone else who wants to share? Before we go to our Q&A, do you have anyone else? Okay. Guys, don't be shy. This is how yes, you can share.
Okay, so mine is basically in the education and job creation as well. I feel like a lot of people in Nigeria, I'd say in the lower class, are unable to get a good paying job. So
Yeah.
I would be thinking of creating an app where they can go and learn soft skills such as communication and leadership and negotiation skills basically, and then being a point for companies outside of Nigeria so that they can outsource all the way to us, to Nigeria. So once these people have gone through that method of education, of communication and all of that, they would then be able to get those jobs because they would have been verified by us.
Oh, Okay, so it's basically like a platform where people can just learn soft skills and then you connect them to like employers or
Yeah, so practically an educational job agency.
wow, okay. All right. I think this is cool as well. You guys are really doing well. Wow. You're not in ALE yet, and I can't imagine what you do when you come to ALE. When all these resources and support are exposed to you. This is really interesting. Trust me. So, guys, do we have anyone else? Thank you for sharing. Do you have anyone else who wants to share, or we can go straight to our Q&A session if you have any questions for us? We are here to, yeah, answer them. No questions? Okay, this is interesting. Nina, I think we did very well.
Oh, do you I have questions for you guys.
Okay.
I have quite a few
Okay.
actually. Okay. First off, I wanted to ask, if I'm coming to ALU, do I have to start from the first year, or can I go into the second year if I'm a transfer student like myself? Would it be possible for me to start from the second year and do the third year as well, or I must start from the beginning?
Okay, yes. So to answer that, you will have to start from your first year. Like I said, ALU module is very different from the other universities. So if you decide to start like mid-year, trust me, I'm not going to have a very good time or a good journey here. So you need to go through like the whole foundation courses or the whole processes. It's 3 years. You just need to go through like the whole thing, just so you don't get to suffer, or you like basically you get to have like all the experiences or the knowledges so you can adapt well. But for example, like if, like I said, the first year is for learning more about yourself, basically learning how to learn, relearning, and doing all that. Imagine now you skip all those, um, yeah, all those years, and then you want to start in the middle, maybe in your second year or third year when people are already specializing. That's going to be very, very difficult. Like transitioning and then adapting will be very difficult for you. So yes, it's a must. You have to start from the first year so that we take you through everything like smoothly so you can adapt very well.
Okay. My second question is, can I fast track the course?
What do you mean by fast track?
So, is basically is still is like shortening the course, so accelerated learning basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, let me take
Okay,
that one.
Dr.
So
Laz.
like our courses are 3 programs. So I used to like to do it in a 2-year period. Our courses are for 3 years, I mean.
Yeah, 3 years. So is it possible for me to do it in a 2-year window?
So why so we have accelerated basically having it for 3 years is already accelerated. So what students have the opportunity to do is to actually I don't know if this is the right word, but kind of decelerate it, which is you can then do that in 4-year period, as long as she communicates with the academic team. So like actually then studying it in 2 years, it's really not feasible due to the like the commitment and the intensity of the program right now. As you might know, like normal degree programs are for 4 years, but this one is accelerated. That's why we have it
Yeah.
3-year window. So
Yeah.
it's more about decelerating rather than accelerating it, if you
Accelerating.
get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You said it's not feasible. You didn't say it's not possible. Is it that it's not possible or it's not feasible?
I don't even think it's possible. I'm not sure
Okay.
ALU will allow you to do that, yes. Just because like some of the courses that we have, they open it like at a particular time, like there are windows, do you get me? So if they open maybe the first window, you feel like you can do it. Maybe we have projects every single week. Yes, for software engineers, we have projects every single week. They give you like the projects, and then you have a week to solve them. So that way you can accelerate it. You can choose to do it in 2 days, complete it as long as you don't miss the deadline. You can also choose to, spread it out and complete it in the next maybe in the week
Yeah.
within the
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
But
so it's
you
so
have
it's
to
not
wait till the
possible.
next month. Yes, it's
Yeah.
not possible.
Okay.
You just have to wait.
Just to give you more context too, we study basically throughout the whole year. So we have 3 trimesters in a year. So like let's say start of this year, January to May to April is our first term. Then we have from May to August, and then we have August to December. So like you're literally studying throughout the whole year. And if you were to accelerate it, for like group projects you have in a term, then you have to do it alone, which basically now is not group project, if you get what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's not feasible and it's not possible. I should say
Okay.
that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I fuse the two courses? Is there a possible way to fuse the the BEL and the BSE?
No,
No,
you can't.
you can't, because it's really tough. It's really tough, and
You guys are just
students
telling
have
me
to.
no. You guys are just telling me no. I know. I
No,
know.
because that's how the system is.
Yeah.
You can't, like, like, because a lot of things are going on at ALU that you won't have the time to be doing 2 programs. First, you even can't pick 2 programs, you can only pick one. But even if you had that opportunity, it's like for students, you might not probably have anything else doing. So for the whole week, you might basically spend 20 hours doing your project, doing your BL assignment, collaborating with people, projects, presentations, all that. So it's a whole lot that it's like it's just out of this world that it's not possible
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay. Next question. Would I be assisted when applying for a job, like a graduate job? And if yes, how?
So in terms of jobs, like I said, we have opportunity board. We have different teams that are really created to help students access opportunities either while in school or after grad. We have alumni association. We have teams also working basically helping alumni engagement after school. So yeah, I would say like yes and no. Yes, in the fact that we have teams that would help you, but not in terms of ALU is more about owning your journey. So like what we give you is resources and tools to help you. We give you teams that would really give you those opportunities. But all you have to do is just take that liberty. You have to take that you have to go out of your way. You
Well,
have to take the ownership to
yeah. You have to
yes,
do the
to then
work.
get
You have to do the work.
exactly you have
Yeah.
to do the work. So
Okay.
so yeah, I'll say yes and no
Okay.
in
You
respect to that.
said while in school. So does that means that I can be working while I'm in ALU for a company that you guys help potentially source for me?
Yes.
Yeah. I
So
think
how does
that's a
that
good way to put it.
how does that work?
I think it's not far-fetched. Myself, I'm currently an intern. I'm interning with the department here. Princess also, she's a marketing intern. So aside from school internships that we get, so like basically as an intern, you basically get to work with the department while you're still schooling. So that's one example. Another example is, let's say like for students that have entrepreneurial ventures, and they're working on it. That's also a business that they're working on while also schooling, right? So you're
Okay.
building a business and all that. That's the second example I could give. And then
Yeah.
the third I could give is we have skills immersion period, but then the way the model is designed, not limiting students to gain or to get access to opportunities while they're still schooling. So that's why it's also in a case of you can't combine BS and BL because you're not expected, but because like the program has been designed for you to spend that time doing other things, which could also mean working with another company, if you get what I mean. So I think those
Yeah.
are 3 examples I'll give.